civilization has suffered losses before, although none quite so violently.
Wouldn't mind burning some helium out in the fringe.
Constellation is no stranger to loss. Our own founder left on an expedition and never returned. It is easy to talk about the glory and excitement of breaching into the unknown, of lighting the darkness. But it is harder to stare into the face of the cost. That all of our progress is built on top of the lives of those who dared. And that we owe them the courage to continue our work in their memory.
Thank you, Sarah. If anyone else would like to say a few words. Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something. I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. Good. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but I've got nothing. So instead, I thought I would quote something that gave me comfort a long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine? Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder,
What you're feeling right now is a chemical reaction whose evolutionary goal never seems to work.
that it may only be understood as primordial and even divine. Our essence is what was
I don't remember. I thought when the funeral was over, when everyone went home that night, turns out, sometimes you need more than that. Well, look at us. Two lone wolves howling at the moon on the same night. You know, there's one piece of advice I can actually give you. It's that lost loved ones have a way of coming back to you. One day you'll be sweeping, theoretically. You're welcome.
It's really thoughtful, Mateo.
Chat for a bit?
Hey,
Normally,
stranger.
I hate talking to
Let's
people.
chat sometime, okay?
You don't believe in the afterlife, do you? Yes. Won't we all? Well, I...
Don't have any other advice to
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share it. I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But I am not sure I mean. Thank you.
I don't often
Hey,
think
you are
about
free
what I
soon.
Could we talk?
It seems so redundant with how I live. But
It's...
it's one of those occasions where
Just don't forget to take time for yourself. We'll get through this. Anytime.
there's no afterlife.
When you have a
Second
moment,
beat.
I'd like to speak to
No
you.
God. in
It
heaven
almost feels
is curating a perfect
wrong to be grieving.
So it's up to us.
Selfish.
We are what lives on.
It's just easier to, if you'll excuse me.
Inspires us to greater action than that. Humanity is what truly
Hi.
means. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil.
It's my dad.
Let us take responsibility for it.
Ugh, it doesn't change anything. Everything's worse.
Are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Every day is going to be worse now. I
Like to keep some things private.
want to be alone for a
You one of Sam's constellation people? Lillian Hart. He probably never mentioned me. I mean, I try not to talk about him, so... I'm sorry. That was a terrible thing to say. Cora's mother, Sam's ex. God, I'm rambling. Look, I don't know who I should speak to about this, but Cora and I talked, and she's coming to live with me.
Gets eaten up by insects and microbes. Or due to the lack of a vital...
Right now, she's taking it all so hard. She wants to get away from here. In time, maybe she'll come back.
Coalesce with other debris.
That's a generous offer. But I wanted more, not under circumstances like this. We'll be leaving soon, so say your goodbyes to her, if you like.
Could you imagine? The fact
Oh,
is that the
Sam.
universe goes on.
I
Life
kept-
goes on. That
I
things
kept
do not
wanting
sit
to
still.
visit Mom,
Right there is the
but now
Yeah, we die. And some people go way before they should.
Drink? Pour one out to the blackest sea?
Because it's infinite, ever expanding. And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity?
Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space to the great be.
We emerge from the universe as we return to it.
Aye.
Yes, that certainly was an interesting perspective, Barrett.
My boy. I've lost my boy. What do you mean? Nothing wrong with me and my son. Sure, we yell. Families are supposed to yell at each other, so it keeps us honest. If you can't show your worst side to the people closest to you, who can you?
Take care of yourself. A loss is always hard.
Don't drown too much in all
Constellation
this
will get
despair.
through this together.
Life moves on.
Like
I am told these types of gatherings are a sad... No, I don't. I'm programmed to analyze sensory and bio... I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language. It will take some time to... I will note that feedback for later.
Forgive me for pulling you aside again, but, well, there's so much to process right now. The emissary, the hunter, the unity, an entire multiverse. I don't know where to begin. The fact that we are the origin of the Starborn. Humans literally reborn by entering the Unity. The same, yet different. It's unbelievable. I feel like most of the knowledge we've amassed in the last few centuries about the universe has just been made obsolete. Oh goodness. Almost every astrophysics, there are areas of study that will need to change, and some basic rules of science that will need to be Yes, that's exactly right. Humans are... We've been pushing further and further outwards from our home, when we should have spent more time being prepared for the consequences. Our current problem relates closely to the nature of humans as a species. This rush to curiosity has led us to enter the Unity and become Starborn. It certainly is. Without curiosity, our motivation to explore would vanish. But in this case, there's a difference between exploring the cosmos and blindly entering the unknown without being But it has made a difference. Here we are, caught in the middle of some sort of needlessly violent crusade between the hunter and the emissary. You'd think that a technologically advanced society would have evolved past petty squabbling over something like the artifacts. It almost makes me wonder if entering the Unity has done them more harm than good. Yes, I agree, but not at the expense of erasing our own existence. When you pass into whatever lies beyond, we don't know what will become of you. Will you remember your life as you knew it? Will the hunger to collect the artifacts consume your life like it's clearly consumed the Starborn? This goes well beyond the boundaries of simple exploration. As the chair of Constellation, I want all of us to have this opportunity to explore the Unity. It would be the pinnacle exploration of our lives. However, after we enter the Unity, we'll likely evolve. You and I, as we stand here right now, will essentially cease to exist. You're a respected colleague, and I wouldn't want to lose you. Yes, of course. Of course. Listen, I realize nothing that I say is ever going to change your mind or diminish the enticement of this incredible opportunity. All I ask is that you research the facts before you blindly stumble off into the unknown. Yes, never mind the surprisingly high number of space battles you've gotten entangled with recently. Well, I suppose I've ruined the moment again, haven't I? I'm getting quite good at that lately. I'll let you get back to whatever you...
Take note. Everyone here is worth learning. Yes.
Excusez-moi. This is the Unity. No kidding. Think of the dissertations. Boundless topics, no bounds. Except the books, they're bound. This explains so much, though. They're disorganized, petty, weird, and also deeply fascinating at the same time. Because they are just people. We never rule that out, but it feels so good to know we weren't fighting against robot alien ghost gods or something.
Book club with Noel. Nothing serious, just for fun. Think you'd be interested.
That sounds fun. I appreciate you asking.
No pressure. It's just something to take on.
True. We need to approach this critically and carefully. We can't just jump in. Or, I mean, we could, I guess. But it all comes back to this. We don't know what will happen if you enter the Unity. You might lose yourself or become a two-headed space shark. There are too many variables. Yeah, even so, I don't see how we can't do this. I really don't see another option. Of course, at the end of the day, it's your choice. But I will say this. Our entire purpose in Constellation is to explore. Why would we stop now? I'm with you. I'm not gonna hold you back. But if you know, become evil or whatever, I'm also not gonna have your back. Anytime. The possibility of turning evil aside, I appreciate you taking the lead on this. You're guiding Constellation to new frontiers, new discoveries, and we should all follow your example. On that note, there's something else I'd like to discuss with you, if you have time. It's not on the scale of entering the Unity, but it is tangentially related. Thanks. This has been swirling in my brain goo for a while now. So, I've been pondering over what's happened and what it all means. And I've got a favor to ask. A teensy-weensy favor. About the size of a plank length, really. I think it's time I joined you in the physics-bending powers business. See if one of those temples works for more than just you. Marvelous. I'm glad you're as gung-ho about this as I am. As it so happens, I've already talked to Vladimir. Seems our eye in the sky is back up and running. He sent me the coordinates for the temple already. We just have to visit.
I have things I wish to discuss with you.
Take a break.
When you have
Let's
time.
chat.
So, we finally have all the answers. And yet here I stand, feeling like I understand even less than I did before. This talk of the unity of a multiverse? Dead friends appearing again? It is all simply too much.
Hey, Barrett. We're just doing some scans on the artifact.
I do not see how
Using
any of this is cause for celebration.
The thing? You know, the thing. The one with the prongs. Is that what they are? The bit that's
If we have won, I am not sure what comes next.
No.
The very notion of this
That should be
unity
enough, right?
seems to call into question everything we know about the universe. Even if everything the Starborn have said is true, if you pass into this unity and come out in some other universe, look at who they are, at what they have become. They have the faces and voices of people you know, but are nothing like them. Are you not at all worried that the same fate would befall you? That you would become someone unrecognizable to the rest of us? Now you sound like Sarah. But you are not wrong. I will do my best to assume the best, but you cannot blame me for preparing for the worst. We should get back to it. Now that we know what to work towards, there's no time to waste.
Hey, so I'm really It's been a long time since I worked with someone so closely. I didn't realize it, and you haven't stopped me from looking into this stuff with Irvin either. So, thank you. See, that's what makes you a good captain in my book. You're supportive. On that note, I do have some news about Irvin's case. So, I wanted to let you know that I heard back from my contact, and I think you'll want to hear this. They sent me a copy of some public records. It's interesting. There was a claim filed against Irvin, accusing him of damaging their investments. Looks like Irvin didn't even enter a plea.
Huh. I must have misremembered. Well, if you ever did want to talk about it, I'd be happy to lend an ear. Okay. Gotcha.
The Hephaestus Mining Corporation. And they also won the case. Some of Irvin's paychecks were seized, as well as any assets that weren't under joint ownership. Well, if it was Irvin, I do want to understand that, because I just can't believe it. Anyway, this mining corporation, Hephaestus, sued Irvin, claiming he irreparably damaged their mine. They said he killed the apex predators in the area around the mine, which led to herd creatures overeating the grasses. That caused the soils to release too many gases too fast, which cost Hephaestus a ton of money. Thank you. So, is this a cover-up? If so, of what? And why did it involve Irvin? So anyway, according to the court documents, there was a witness for the defense, who was a no-show too. Then Hephaestus won by default. They tried to take his apartment, but because it's in my name too, they couldn't. Kinda. I had a mountain of back taxes to pay, and utilities, and repairs. Ugh. It would have been far better for my pockets had I just donated it to the city. But I'm glad I didn't. There may be clues there about his case. So here's what I was thinking. I can persuade my contact to keep digging a little bit more. I don't want to press our luck, so I'll just ask them to follow up on one thing. Should I tell them to investigate the company more, or look into the witness instead? For that much money? They'll do it. You know, this investigation is time-consuming, but it's also pretty cathartic. And who knows? Maybe if we solve this case, it'll mean a better future for Gagarin. But that's thinking too far ahead. Anyway, Captain, thanks for checking in with me. Hey, you might want this.
What's up?